Hi, Susan Thomas, Oconee County. I wanted to just ask a question about the recently passed campus carry law, which faced very strong opposition in this district, to the point that many of us in this district felt that we were not actually witnessing representational democracy when our representative voted in favor of it. So I was wondering if I could hear both of you speak on, it looks like this law is going to be going through some changes over the coming years, and I'd like to hear your take on it.
So the campus carry bill is one of the reasons why I'm running, because I oppose it. An institute of higher education is about learning, and any obstacle to that should not be allowed on campus. When I talked to professors, and there was on Facebook an image of a professor who actually went to class with a bulletproof vest, and he was making a statement, right, because he doesn't know who has the gun. And the students came out and said, well, that makes us uncomfortable seeing you in a bulletproof vest. And he said, well, it makes me uncomfortable knowing that any one of you, you can see my vest. I can't see your gun, right? There's a time and a place for everything. My father was in the military. My father has a permit. My father has a gun. He's had it for years. Now, one thing that I asked my father is that when he comes and visit me and I have my grandkids at home, I don't want the gun home. He has every right to have his gun. I have every right to know where it is when it comes to my grandchildren and my children. And that's what I'm concerned about, that we're not teaching our kids anymore in higher education because everybody's afraid of what's going to happen with that gun. And you can't tell me that people are not thinking about it. Because even when we have restrictions that say, okay, if there's a high school student, they cannot have that gun in there, but then you can't ask who the high school student is, right? You can't say there is a high school student in this class. It is actually the onus of the gun owner who has to go to the bursar and get a list and say, can I go to these classes with my gun? Okay? Now we do have FERPA rules. We do have other laws in place and regulations that sort of restrict how much information we can give on students, especially minors like those in high school. And so I am very concerned about the campus carry law. I do not agree with it, and I would do what I can to make more restrictions of it. Thank you.
On campus carry, my opponent just pointed out, there are a lot of restrictions on the law that passed. So I think that no matter actually on which side of the coin you look at it, for strong Second Amendment supporters, they were not necessarily pleased with the bill in terms of it having too many exemptions. On the other side of the coin, you did have a lot of faculty, staff, and students who came out and opposed that piece of legislation. So what I look forward to doing is we'll have had a semester of it being in place by the time we convene for the General Assembly in January, because the law just took effect July 1st. And so at that point, I think we can have a better conversation about the topic once we've actually had a semester with it being in place.